We'll be arrived at Brindley Castle in about 5 minutes, but before we get there, I'll give you a little information about the castle and what our visit include. So in fact, there's been a castle on this site for over 1100 years. The first building was a fort constructed, constructed in 914 AD for defense against Danish invaders by King Alfred the Great, the Great's daughter, who ruled England at the time. In the following century, after the Norman conquered England, the land was given to a nobleman called Richard the Fair, and he built a castle there that stayed in the Vere family for over 400 years. However, when Queen Elizabeth I announced that she was going to visit the castle in 1576, it was beginning to look a bit run down, and it was decided that rather than repair the guest rooms, they'd make a new house for her out of wood next to the main hall. He stayed there for 4 nights, and apparently it was very luxurious. But unfortunately, it was destroyed a few years later by fire. In the 17th century, the castle belonged to the wealthy Fennis family, who enlarged it and made it more comfortable. However, by 1982, the Fennis family could no longer afford to maintain the castle, even though they received government support and they put it on the market. It was eventually taken over by a company who owned a number of amusement parks. But when we get there, I think you'll see that they've managed to retain the original atmosphere of the castle. When you're inside, you'll find that in the staterooms there are lifelike moving wax models dressed in costumes of different periods in the past, which even carry on conversations together. As well as that, in every room there are booklets giving information about what the room was used for and the history of the objects and furniture it contains. The castle past quite extensive. At one time, ships were kept there, and in the 19th century, the owners had a little zoo with animals like the bridge. It's about 10 minutes walk or so. And finally, the shop is actually inside one of the towers, but the way in is from the outside. Just take the first left after the main entrance. Go down the path and take the first right. It's got some lovely gifts and souvenirs. Right, so we'll just arrive at